Governor Ron DeSantis rejects a fund
The time he was running for president
that could have helped Floridians. Coverage from Washington, D.C. World leaders meet in the nation's capital.
Will be a way to cement their ties with the Hispanic community in the United States.
At the Conservative Political Action Conference. An art exhibit.
He didn't let the bad times get him down. He kept on pushing.
To commemorate boxing legend Muhammad Ali here in South Florida. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Ivani Lewski.
I'm Natalie LaRoche-Petrie. Today is Friday, February 23rd, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
A war of words playing out on the political stage between Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor DeSantis has made several headlines in recent years for refusing federal funds.
As we learned from D.C. Bureau reporter Sofia Bolivar, Buttigieg called out Florida as the only state to turn down these projects.
I'm outside the Department of Transportation, whose Secretary Pete Buttigieg recently pointed out Governor Ron DeSantis' rejection of funds that would have provided millions of dollars to Florida. Although DeSantis rejected the Inflation Reduction Act last year, a recent Instagram post has sparked up much debate. The Miami Freedom Project on Instagram posted a recent interview with Buttigieg and NBC's Jackie Nesbra, speaking about DeSantis rejecting funds for the carbon reduction program. The Instagram post also pointed out the rejection of the Inflation Reduction Act, both that could have potentially benefited Florida communities.
Miami has the Resilient 305 plan in place, and so we've identified a whole series of projects that we'd like to do. Funds like that would have been invaluable to sort of help us reach our goals and do some very specific community level projects.
Some Florida residents are disappointed with the dismissal of $11 billion in recent years and believe it was due to the governor's presidential campaign.
at the time he was running for president. So it was very clearly a political tactic. As somebody who's a constituent who lives in his state, it is very annoying.
The comments on the post vary, some commenting that taking the funds would be like taking money from the mob, others commenting that they are glad DeSantis got called out. With debate on the reasoning behind the fund rejection, in the interview, Buttigieg said it should be a bipartisan issue. The funds rejected by DeSantis will now be going somewhere else, according to Buttigieg. Reporting for Caplin News from Washington, D.C., I'm Sofia Bolivar.
The Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, is one of the most prominent gathering of conservatives attended by activists and elected officials from across the U.S. and beyond.
Several prominent conservative Latin American leaders are among the attendees at this year's conference right outside of Washington, D.C. Reporter Pamela Correa is live in National Harbor, Maryland, to tell us more about this.
I'm here at CPAC 2024, where just yesterday, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele told the gathering, the people from El Salvador have woken up and so can you, making a reference to this hardline stance on crime and other social issues that has gained him both critics and supporters. Other Latin American leaders at the gathering include Argentine President Javier Milei and former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro will be here speaking tomorrow. FIU politics and international professor Eduardo Gamarra mentioned why these leaders are here.
The conservatives in the U.S., the so-called conservatives in the U.S., are betting that bringing in Milei and Bukele will be a way to cement their ties with the Hispanic community in the United States.
The Hispanic vote is key to both parties, and these voters have been pursued aggressively by Republicans and Democrats. In Florida, in particular, Hispanics have played a prominent role in handing the state to the Republicans in 2020. This year, nearly 18 million Latin nationwide are presumed to be Republican nominees, are expected to cast a ballot in November. Presumptive Republican nominee and former President Trump is also speaking on Saturday. This is Pamela Correa reporting live for Caplin News from National Harbor, Maryland. Back to you in the studio.
This morning, former President Trump is looking to get charges dismissed related to classified documents inside his South Florida home. His lawyers filed motions yesterday to try and get the case thrown out. The documents were at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach. Earlier in the day, lawyers for a co-defendant asked the judge to get their client's charges dismissed. This weekend will mark the 60th anniversary of the fight that changed Muhammad Ali's life forever here in South Florida. Caplin News reporter Valentina Gaspari has your behind the scenes to the exhibit.
6 decades since the world witnessed sports history. We're talking about the greatest. His life-changing victory all started here. 60 years have passed since 22-year-old Cassius Clay, later known as Muhammad Ali, shocked the world after defeating heavyweight champion Sonny Liston in the 1964 title fight taking place in Miami Beach. The I Shook Up the World exhibit, in collaboration with Washington Avenue Business Improvement District and History Miami, reflects on Ali's big fight night. Memorabilia, photos, and even a ring took up much of the space. The exhibit is planted right where 5th Street Gym was, a place that resonates with Ali's boxing career. Troy Wright, executive director of the Washington Avenue bid, helped organize the event, saying it was a life-changing moment.
Muhammad Ali was more than just a boxer. He was more than an entertainer. He was more than a humanitarian, but he was a father. He would really help change America for the good. So I'm really proud that we could do this.
People who knew and remembered Ali told their life stories. One person in particular reflected on the greatest boxer originating from South Florida, his son.
My father was always persistent on everything he do, and he just took it in stride. And he didn't let the bad times get him down. He kept on pushing. So he's the greatest humanitarian, the greatest dad, the greatest boxer, the greatest man ever.
The commemorative event acted as a timeline, framing the pivotal moments in Ali's career, one video and photo at a time. Surprise guests filled the ring to give the audience a show.
The most important thing I remember is when he said, "I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee." That's what I remember the most.
Sunday will mark the official anniversary of this iconic boxing fight, and the exhibit is open to the public. You can visit the Washington Avenue bid for more details. In South Beach, for Caplin News, I'm Valentina Gaspari.
For the first time in more than 50 years, the U.S. lands a spacecraft on the moon. It was an unmanned mission, but the Odysseus landing marked a historic moment nonetheless. And as space enthusiasts and experts watched the landing, current NASA administrator and former Florida Senator Bill Nelson commented on the momentous event.
We're going back to the moon, not just to go to the moon. We're going back to the moon to learn, to live, to experiment, to invent, to create, in order to go further, and that is to Mars and beyond with human astronauts.
The area Odysseus landed in is suspected to harbor water ice, which pulls international interest because it could potentially be converted to drinking water or rocket fuel for future missions.
The last 20 seconds to Saturday last night's Panthers game.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Super excited to be here. It's our first year actually at Burger Bash.
A bash on the beach to get the South Beach Wine and Food Festival started off right. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
An annual food frenzy as the culinary world turns its eyes to South Beach. The South Beach Food and Wine Festival in Miami Beach will capture South Florida's attention for the next few days.
But as Caplin's Tyler Law reports, it all started last night with Rachel Ray's Burger Bash.
Festival goers are salivating their taste buds here at the 23rd Annual South Beach Food and Wine Festival in Miami Beach. An epic showdown is more beefed up than ever, thanks to the glorious return of the beloved host who started it all, Rachel Ray. With over 30 mouthwatering burgers and tantalizing sides, chefs are competing for the very best burger award.
Being number one, you're going to start with 75-25 meat. Fried and sons, best around. Cook it on the flat top, nice medium temperature, and then don't go more than 4 ingredients, right? Cheese, pickles, grilled onions, and mustard is my favorite. That's like as simple as it can get, but once you get more than 4 toppings, they're complicated.
We're super excited to be here. It's our first year actually at Burger Bash. We have a burger, it's a koji burger, so it's actually cured, that we're very excited about, and we want to see how everyone else feels about it.
Our burger is very special. We brought our champ burger today. It has 3-star ingredients. We make our own buns. We only use Wagyu beef, and our secret ingredient is a pickled heirloom tomato that we make ourselves.
From the crowd to the music, the amazing food, even Panther Pride, Burger Bash is the place to be. In Miami Beach, for Caplin News, I'm Tyler Law.
The Panthers take a tough loss in Carolina against the Hurricanes. The game was filled with tension between the two teams as neither was able to score. It wasn't until the final period that the Hurricanes scored with 18 seconds left of the game. The final score was Panthers 0, Carolina 1. The Panthers will come home to play the Washington Capitals tomorrow at 6 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Natalie LaRoche-Pietri.
And I'm Ivani Lewski. Get more news at any time at caplinnews.fiu.edu.